Theta Care asks courts to temporarily stop 7 stroke and trauma employees from moving to Ascension. So Theta Care officials are asking, Outagamie County Judge Mark McGinnis to pause the recruitment of 7 of their employees to Ascension, Northeast Wisconsin, arguing the move will endanger patients in the region who need treatment for strokes and traumatic injuries. In a Thursday interview with the Post Crescent, Theta Care leaders said Ascension recruited a group of Theta Care employees from its interventional radiology and cardiovascular team. The team performs procedures to stop bleeding in targeted areas during a traumatic injury and restore blood flow to the brain in case of a stroke. So 7 of the 11 employees on that team accepted offers with Ascension and will start there next week if the court does not act, said Lynn Detterman, Theta Care's senior vice president for its South region. Yeah, this is full-blown feudalism right here. The lords don't want their serfs leaving. From the employee's perspective, if the court gets involved, what if they all just quit? Is the court legally allowed to stop an employee from quitting their job? Because this would be a very interesting case, actually. Like, oh, fine, if you're not going to let us transfer to this other company, we're going to quit then, and then next week we're just going to apply over there. How would this be different if that happened? Now, Theta Care filed a temporary injunction Thursday, which would halt the employees' move to Ascension for 90 days to give Theta Care time to look for replacement staff. Oh, you know what? Let this go through. Let this happen. Because if employees are smart, they might be able to use this as a precedent. If you aren't allowed to quit the company until the company has time to replace you, then the company can't fire you until you have time to find another job. If we play this smart, we can completely turn this against the corpos. Imagine next time a corpo is doing a mass layoff and all the employees sue and say, nope, you're not allowed to lay us off for another 7 months until we have time to find a replacement job. We can make this go both ways. So Detterman said Theta Care tried to resolve the matter first by speaking with Ascension, but were unsuccessful. Well, how about you solve the matter by giving a better deal to those employees so they don't leave? Why is that not even an option? There's a reason that 7 out of those 11 employees chose to go to your competitor. Maybe fix that reason? Without more time, Theta Care leaders say they could struggle to treat trauma and stroke patients locally, which could mean sending severely injured persons hours away before they can get care. Theta Care's Neenah Hospital is the only level 2 trauma center, which can provide higher levels of care for traumatic injuries between Green Bay and the Milwaukee area. There's only a small crew of people who have this type of expertise. Put this into perspective. There's only a small crew of people that have this type of expertise. And yet they apparently treated theirs bad enough that, 75% of their team was willing to go jump to a competitor? Makes you think, doesn't it? So trying to backfill or recruit or substitute people is not as easy as it sounds, said Dr. Ray Jurgen, Theta Care's trauma medical director. And let's play this against them as well. If you happen to fire an employee that's in a industry that's difficult to find work in at the moment, that means you have to hold on to them for an extra few months until they can find another job first. If this is the game you want to play, if employees aren't allowed to quit because it would inconvenience you, fine. But we're going to make this go both ways. You're not allowed to fire people because it might inconvenience them. Detterman said the move comes at an especially difficult time as Fox Valley Hospitals struggle with an influx of Corona Chan patients. Yeah, like that Code Brown video. Highest numbers since March of current year, -2. Aren't dancing nurse TikTok videos at the highest they've ever been, too? Funny. So according to data from the Wisconsin Hospital Association, in more normal circumstances, patients could count on being able to be transferred quickly to a hospital with more resources if needed, she said, something that's not guaranteed today. To be focused on this court action instead of the pandemic is just so disappointing, she said. A statement from Ascension, Wisconsin spokesperson said, workforce shortages are one of the many stresses healthcare systems have faced during the pandemic. Many healthcare systems, including Ascension, continue to actively recruit healthcare workers. Contrary to allegations in the ThedaCare lawsuit, Ascension did not initiate the recruitment of those ThedaCare employees. Rather, the employees applied for open job postings. To the extent such individuals met the job qualifications, Ascension Wisconsin made offers of employment to the individuals who applied as part of the Ascension Wisconsin's routine processing of hiring qualified associates at a fair and just wage. It is Ascension Wisconsin's understanding that ThedaCare had an opportunity but declined to make a competitive counteroffer to retain its former employees. I gotta say, I'm actually in Ascension's corner on this one. I've seen similar things play out. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, dude, I've actually had groups of coworkers do this as well. Like, they weren't headhunted or anything. They just left as a team. It very well could have happened that way. I've seen it happen. Yeah, some groups of coworkers, they're like fucking MMO guilds, right? How no, they jump from game to game as a group. Some people do that with jobs. So this would be a very dangerous legal precedent if employees were prevented from quitting their jobs by the court. Although, again, if there is any way we can turn this on them to prevent them from firing employees as well, that's the strategy we should be looking at. Given the unfortunate decision by ThedaCare to file a lawsuit to enjoin competitive labor practices, we will not be commenting further on this matter as this matter proceeds through legislation or through litigation. Sorry. Healthcare workers are in high demand and short supply nationally as the stresses of Coronachan and other work worries have driven them out of the field. About 1 in 5 have left their jobs since the pandemic began. And knowing all of this, they're still forcing mandates through, which will cause even more of them to quit. This is one of these policies that Brandon is so proud of. The government is literally creating this fucking problem. And obviously, the only solution to it is more government, because of course, what else could it be?